welcome to another episode of the Super Awesome Game Review Show, and today's game we're reviewing is Quantum Break for the Xbox One, and apparently Windows 10. I guess I gotta mention that for some reason, I don't know, but yeah, so that's a thing that is also happening. So apparently the guy from Game of Thrones happens to help work on a time machine, and he calls in his best friend, Shawn Ashmore, to come help him check it out. I guess apparently he was working with Shawn's brother or something like that, and something happened. But yeah, so what's his name? So Littlefinger took over and decided he's going to go ahead and perfect the time machine, and he's going to go ahead and work on it and get everything ready to go. And he needed Jack Joyce, which is the main character's name that Shawn Ashmore plays, to help him test out the machine. And surprise, surprise, messing with the time stream happens to go wrong, and things just go to hell from there. Some soldiers attack and shit like that, and here we go. And then Jack Joyce and his brother have to figure out how the hell to stop what's going on and figure out what's going on. His brother has a thing that can help fix the time problem or whatever, and they're gonna go get it, and everything just goes downhill from there. And we have Quantum Break.
Quantum Break is the latest in a long line of over-the-shoulder cover shooters, but this time it's an over-the-shoulder cover shooter with time powers. Still, as basic as that may sound, I couldn't help but like this game, as it did keep me pretty interested in it.
So yeah, as far as basic shooters go, I guess there's not really a lot of new ground here, except for the fact that you have all these weird powers to help you manipulate time. And even then, it's probably a concept that was done in other games, but you know, it's just like how they introduce them and stuff like that. You pick up weapons from the ground, or you get them from dead enemies. And for some reason, there just happens to be a lot of backpacks around here that happen to have weapons in them, just littered all over the place. It's almost as if somebody knew this was going to happen.
You have all sorts of powers at your disposal as you fight your way through an endless wave of soldiers who just seem hell-bent on killing you. But highly trained and outfitted as they are no match against the mighty Shawn Ashmore. Powers unlock as you play through the game. You can do such things as generate a shield to protect yourself from bullets, freeze people in time and unleash bullets on them, causing them to explode, even running at super speed to avoid enemies, and even rush attacking them.
So you don't really do anything super special to get these powers. They just happen to pop up as the story goes. You know, basically it's like he's discovering new powers as it goes, and his powers keep getting stronger, and he does new things, like I think I mentioned with the shield and the super speed and stuff like that. You can do things to like cause like these massive, you like do this thing with crunch time and like cause an explosion, get all these enemies everywhere. Now occasionally there will be some enemies that for some reason can't be really hurt that way, they just shrug it off like haha fuck you or something like that. So you gotta find ways to go and face these enemies. The enemies are basically, you know, cannon fodder. They run in, now you can take them out, but you do that, get that occasional pain in the ass enemy who just makes you want to throw your controller at the screen. Is that just me? I don't know. I've had a few instances where I'm like, fuck this guy, what the?
You can upgrade these powers by gaining Chronon points. In doing so, you can make your powers stronger and increase their effects. Personally, didn't really find that many, but managed to do just fine without them.
There must be like a lot of these things like hidden throughout the whole game, because I only found like a couple of spots, and I never really got enough points to really max out or unlock anything. It was kind of weird. It's like, I know that a lot of them, because like when you had to buy things, they'd be like 3, 4, 6 points or something like that. I'm like, where the hell are all these things where I get enough points to build these things? Maybe I just couldn't really find them that well, or I just wasn't looking because I was trying to just get through the game, get through the story or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot going on there, and you're trying to find these things. I couldn't find them. I don't know, maybe I didn't look hard enough or whatever. I found a few and used them the best I could, but I couldn't really find that many. It was kind of a pain in the ass to do so, but at the end of the day, you don't really need them all that well if you just know how to play the game well enough. You know how to avoid getting killed or something like that. And you know, it doesn't matter, right? Because you got that whole thing where you auto heal, you just hide in a corner somewhere, and like you get the Raspberry Jam screen or whatever, and it's take a few minutes of not getting hit, you're back to normal. Oh, look at that, I'm totally healed, even though I got riddled with bullets like 5 seconds ago. But hey, everything's okay. That's unfortunately the basic, just typical shooter game. Like I said, there's not a lot going on in shooter mechanics here. But yeah, that's the thing that happens. So you can probably most likely get through this game without ever having to upgrade a lot of your powers. I mean, hell, I did it, so it can't possibly be that bad now, can it?
Quantum Break was a pretty captivating game. It's kind of cool that you can actually recognize the characters because they are actually modeled after the actors that play them. It may not be the longest of games, but what's there is pretty satisfying.
So yeah, I basically enjoy this game. I thought they did a really good job with it. I mean, I'm not really one to sit there and talk about graphics like that, but the graphics I think were actually pretty good because the characters looked almost damn real. It was like really cool how close they were to the actual representation of the people playing. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the game does something else. It's both like a video game and a TV show, apparently. Like, you do things in the game, and as you do them, you do stuff that apparently affects the TV show, or whatever like that you watch between chapters. And that's where I got confused. I'm sitting there at one point playing the game, and then the next minute I'm watching a TV show. I'm like, what the fuck happened here? At first I was like, wow, the graphics of this game are really good. And then I realized, oh, these are real actors. I was trying to figure out what it meant on the back, because it said like what you do affects like the live action show. I'm like, what live action show? There's supposed to be like a live action show I'm supposed to watch at the same time, so I know what's going on. But apparently it's incorporated in the game, and you just like sit there and watch what happens. You get parts where like when you're playing is like Paul Serene guy, that's Littlefinger. Like he has like between chapters, between live episodes, he does a thing where he chooses two different paths, and the game shows you what happens if you choose the paths or something like that. Like if you do path A, this will happen. If you do path B, this will happen, and stuff like that. It is kind of, I don't know how much, when I play the game, I've only done like one or the other, so I don't really know what happens if you do the other way. I've heard that the decisions you make don't really affect the game all that much, but I could be wrong, I don't know. I've heard things like that. I haven't actually tried it myself, so I got through the initial game with all that stuff, but yeah, you pick a direction and stuff like that. There's definitely a lot going on here, even though it's a pretty short game. It's not really that long, but I did enjoy the story because I want to see, it's kind of neat to see where they're going with this, like what happens. They do a whole, basically a time paradox and stuff like that. What happens if you mess with time and stuff like that. So that's basically like, I guess, the story and lesson that the game is trying to teach you. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, it was pretty good. Do I think it was worth a $60 purchase? Not really. I mean, it's not really that long a game. It's pretty good, but if you do want to play this game, I do recommend you play it if you have an Xbox One. Or hell, Windows 10, but I heard the Windows 10 version is kind of crappy. It didn't come out too well. I would kind of recommend waiting for a price drop on this game. It was decent. It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. I liked it. It kept me going. It was I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I could see why some people might not want to pay like the full price for this game, and I thought the game could have used some stealth sections. I know some people are like, boo, stealth, oh, fuck you, but no, I just think there are parts where like, you don't really have to go through all the fighting. It's like, oh, instead of like, it's always like, kill all the people in the area. It's just like, why can't I try to sneak past them? I mean, these people have families, by God. I mean, seriously, they're going to go out and do their own job. They think they're going to go punch in the office today, and they're going to go home and have a meal with their family. Nope, they got killed. But then again, they are trying to kill you, so I don't know. But it is kind of weird because like they got these highly trained security soldiers, and they're all being taken out by one guy. Even though, okay, so granted, he has some time powers, but you can actually probably go through most of the game and never use any of the damn time powers, and still do okay. I mean, there's really no point in doing it. I mean, there's some points where you probably could use them, but you could probably most likely just sit there and run through the whole game and kill people, and not once use any of your powers, and be perfectly fine. Although there are some fights where it's you kind of need to use the powers, but then again, maybe not if you're good enough. But either way, I thought the game did pretty well. I give it a B-. I mean, it's definitely a very good attempt at this game, and I really do hope they make more in this series because I thought it was fun. I think it's like a series they can use, and something new and something great. I think there's a good direction they can go with this, and I think they did pretty good. So yeah, definitely check out this game. It's pretty good. And yeah, that's it. And I will see you guys